In this video, you're about to learn how to properly log in Web3 and do your own research. This is going to be a crypto investing full course. So let's get started. So getting started and investing in Web3 is really a critical concept, and you need to understand the fundamentals and nitty-gritty in getting started with trading or investing. So there are four environments we'll be looking at to help you properly start investing. The first is understanding market cycles and seasons. The second is potential crypto market events. And the third is how to find the next crypto gem. And the fourth here is the tokenomics, or which we call token economics. So if you understand this concept in Web3, you'll be able to identify the next crypto and invest properly so you don't get to lose money to scammers, roggers, and you invest in projects that have long-term sustainability and are able to give you great return on investment. So to get started with step one, the tool we'll be using here is called Coin Market Cap. So we'll head over to coinmarketcap.com/charts. I'm going to add the link in the description of this video, and we'll get started with market overview. What exactly is market overview? With market overview, we'll be able to have insight into market cycles and market seasons. So the price of Bitcoin is currently at 91,000 plus, Ethereum $3,100, and we have other assets like BNB, Solana, and the likes. Now, what we want to pay attention to is on the fear and greed index. The fear and greed index currently have a value of 47, which is close to 50, which tells us that the market is neutral. Currently, investors are indecisive about their actions. They are not showing if they are very greedy, that there's a lot of buying going into the market, or if they are fearful. So, market is neutral, but from the look of things, it's showing that the market is currently fearful, slightly fearful. The value is 47. Now, the holy grail of investing here is that you want to be very greedy when others are fearful. So, when the market is dumping down to 43, 40, 30, 21, market is extremely bearish, extremely fears in the market, and those are the times you want to start buying so much. And currently, to where the market is, you most likely want to take a bet and say, okay, my speculation is that the market is going to go up. I want to be part of the investors who are betting that the market will go up, and it's going to pay off if the market proceeds proceed up to come into 70, 90, or 80 thereabout, because market is going to be bullish. Now, Bitcoin or altcoins, there are two major seasons in the crypto market besides the bull and bear cycles, right? We have Bitcoin seasons and we have altcoin seasons, and most times we have a hybrid season. A hybrid season is when both Bitcoin and altcoins are doing well. But in Bitcoin seasons, you realize that most altcoins are not even moving up to 5%, 10%, 20%, or so. And then you have Bitcoin making moves like 10%, 8%, 20%, 15%, or more, while other altcoins are stagnant. You are currently in a Bitcoin season. And another season is where the altcoin starts, when most assets start outperforming Bitcoin. So let's say you hold Bitcoin for the next 1 year and Bitcoin moves only by 50%, and we have about 90 altcoins doing more than 300% or doing more than 90% that Bitcoin has done. You will have an altcoin season. So when is the best time for altcoin season? The best time for altcoin season is not when the indicator starts showing altcoin season. The best time for altcoin season is when the market is more into the Bitcoin season. So right now we are speculating to get into the altcoin season, because what happens is that capital flows first into Bitcoin, and the market keeps expanding and keeps expanding, and over time we now start having liquidity flowing out of Bitcoin into altcoins. People start making profit and start putting them into altcoins, and then you start seeing altcoins mooning and doing so pretty well. Okay, so with this data now, you are able to speculate that you can start positioning to get altcoins if you don't want to hold Bitcoin, because Bitcoin, you barely get 300% return on investment or 200% return on investment from Bitcoin with the current market stand. But with altcoins, you can easily make 300%, 500%, 10,000%, or even more. Now, this is the information here. So the market is slightly fearful, which is good, and we are slightly into Bitcoin season, which also is good, giving us insight that the altcoin season is going to get started, even pretty very hot shortly. Something else we can look at the crypto market cap. The crypto market cap give us an environment, shows us an environment of how much the crypto market, or how much is invested in the crypto market. All of the money invested in the crypto market is $3.17 trillion as of today, with a volume running around $102.8 billion within 24 hours. So I can click on all to see what the market capitalization looks like since the market started. So now you can look at and see that once upon a time, market cap was like 1.18 billion. The whole market cap. This was like 2013. Now we are up high here, and this is what? This is 2018. The market cap was as big as $8.25 billion. This was 2018. Market crashed as usual, and then this peak here is 2021. That's $2.21 trillion. You notice every time the market cap, either triple or doubles after every peak. So this was close to $1 trillion, and somewhere here we already have $2.5 trillion. So we have about 4x plus of what we had here. Now the market is down here to came down to like $810, $810 billion thereabout. So it tells you how much of liquidity left the market, from $2.8 trillion to $800 billion. That's about $2 trillion left the market. About 90% of the whole money left the market. Now, if we project from this low here to this high here, you would notice that we are somewhere around close to 3.5 trillion dollars, which is almost close to 2 times of what we had the previous market. If we are speculating the top of this market, my speculation will be I want to start exiting this market anywhere around $6 trillion. $6 trillion. That's my speculation. Okay, once we get to anywhere around $5 trillion, I will start exiting my bags aggressively. $6 trillion for me will be like the top. Okay, you cannot 100% predict the top, but based on the market cycles and seasons and how the market has behaved over time, yes, I'm going to take our profits at those levels. And with that, you come to realize that the crypto market will always correct 90% all the time. Yeah, because something similar happened here. This is in 2018, you had market around $828 billion, and at the low here, you have markets down to like $113 billion. Markets came down by more than 70 to like 18% decline. So you see that, and market will always correct that way. So we can have market get to 5 trillion, 6 trillion thereabout, and correct down to maybe 1 point something trillion, maybe 1.5 trillion this time around, or maybe 2 trillion. But I speculate market will go higher, and Bitcoin might be somewhere around 150k, 180k or so, and then that most likely will happen. Okay, so these are just data that I'm analyzing here And that brings us to the next phase. So the next phase is potential crypto market events. What are the events that affect the crypto market? So we'll be using another tool called encrypted.com/calendar. So encrypted.com will show us some very powerful information that will happen in the coming days that has potential to move the market sideways, upward or downward. So top on my list here, some very notable events to pay attention to. Um, Today is 13th, and this is happening today. This is conversion of FTM tokens to S. This is just editorial choice. This is not what I'm looking at. Important news will look like the resignation of Gary Gensler, which is the SEC chairman, the current SEC chairman, and he's going to be out of office while we have Donald Trump inauguration on the 20th. Same day. So these two news have very strong potential and they'll be happening 1 week from now, and that'll be next week, Wednesday. And some more notable events are downward. Another event that has power to move the market sideways, upward, downward, because the crypto market is heavily trading against the the US market, right? Because Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, is trading against USD. You need to pay attention to news that affect the dollar. And CPI is one notable event that we usually pay attention to. The next CPI will be happening on the 15th of this month, which will be 2 days from now. So markets will be very volatile at the time when the report will be coming out. So you want to also pay attention to those kind of data. So you can use the site to look into more important information. As long as the information is important, please pay attention to it. As long as the information is potential, also pay attention to it because it has a whole lot of information. Now we'll be looking at the third thing, and the third thing will be finding the next crypto gem. And this is one of the most exciting part that I love so much. Now we have a fundamental understanding of the market cycle and events. Now let's look at how to find the next crypto gem. To get started, I'll head over to a site called coingecko.com. Currently at coingecko.com, and this is showing us the cryptocurrency markets and what's happening in the market. Let's keep looking at it, and you can see we'll be able to look at the top 100 assets here on CoinGecko. These assets are ranked in relation to their market capitalization, and market capitalization here is the amount of money invested into a specific cryptocurrency. Now, Bitcoin is the first, having a market capitalization of $1.8 trillion. Ethereum is second, $396 billion. And you keep coming down, and you find so many other projects and so many other tokens, and we can come down and you can see some projects are as low as $2 billion. When you go lower, you notice it gets smaller. Let's check top 100. In top 100, the last token here is called Nexo and having a market cap of $1.2 billion. So you notice that all of the tokens in the top 100 have a market capitalization of $1 billion. So what are the data points that you need to pay attention to so you can be able to invest in some very good projects? There are so many other projects. These are top 300. When you come down, you see, so you can see this is top 300. Top 300. You can also click more, top 1000, and so on and so forth. But let's pay attention to top 200. So the idea here is that you want to find project within top 200, top 300, top 400 that will rank higher in market cap, because the Bitcoin market cap is already very, very big. Okay, the Bitcoin market cap is already very big, and it's very good to pay attention to other cryptocurrency that has low, that has low market cap and can grow into a very big market cap, and there you are able to make some great return on investing. Okay, now assets like Bitcoin, if you are very new to crypto, assets like Bitcoin will be good to start with. So you want to buy Bitcoin to hedge your portfolio, because if you have Bitcoin in your portfolio is not going to give you so much return on investment, but at the same time, you're not going to lose so much money. Okay, so except you are trading in hundreds of thousands of dollars, you're buying Bitcoin of $100,000, $500,000, $1 million, maybe running into billions, then you want to start looking at buying Bitcoin. But if you're coming into crypto and you just have $500 and you just have $2,000 and you just have $10,000, Bitcoin may not be that asset that will give you a lot of money. Because if you buy Bitcoin worth $10,000 at the peak of the market cycle, highest you're going to make is maybe 100%, and that will be you turning your $10,000 to $20,000. But if you are able to invest properly and buy some assets that are not Bitcoin, that are altcoins, and the altcoin season starts, and those tokens are able to move from like $1 to like $10, that's 10x. So if you have $5,000 in those kind of projects and you make 10x from that, your $5,000 will be $50,000. And so it's notable to pay attention to some of the informations I'll be sharing here. Now, to get started with finding hot projects and project that could, give you money, is that you want to pay attention to trending. What kind of project has been trending here in and out for like in the last few weeks or few days? If you pay attention to this project, this is Virtual Protocol and this is AI16Z, you realize that these projects are related to AI agents. So I don't jump into conclusion. I'll click one of these tokens because they are trending, and we want to see how we can be able to, you know more about them and speculate that happening with other asset classes. So currently looking at Virtual Protocol. So for every project, how do you identify this project is good and you can make money from of this project? So while we're looking at Virtual Protocol, the first thing while I'm looking at the chart, I like to click on Max, and this shows this project has been silent for a while, as early as May 2020, and look at what happened. And once it's the season, it started mooning, and you can see how many X that has done. Right? So we want to pay attention to what exactly is this project doing, what problem are they solving, what solution are they bringing to the market. Now, that being said, my perception about Virtual Protocol is that it's already big, 56, and my speculation will be that what are the next projects that are related to Virtual Protocol that most likely can give me the next 5x, the next 10x, because it's already on position 56, it's already in top 100. I'm looking for projects within top 200, top 300, or top 500 that could rank to anywhere around top 200 or top 100, and we can make 10x, 100x, where possible even 1000x. But the focus is to make 5x, 10x with very good potential projects. Now, looking at the market cap, $2.2 billion. Looking at the fully diluted market cap, and we want to pay attention to the trading volume. When a project is having a rise in trading volume, okay, when a project is having a rise in trading volume, day in, day out, week in, week out, but you notice that there is no increase in the price, like the price isn't running to the upside, and the price looks still like it's ranging, happening like almost every single day. You want to pay attention to that project and be like, why is this having so much volume but yet the price is moving. It tells you that a lot of investors are seeing opportunity in that project. That's one, and they are currently accumulating. And the more they keep accumulating, is because they are smart traders or they are smart buyers or investors. They accumulate while everybody is not interested in that project. And then once that project gets to mainstream, this is mainstream from this movement up here. This is mainstream. So you don't want to start jumping in when this is mainstream. You want to find a way to discover this project while they are in their early development phases. Now, the volume is one of the indicator. This market cap is in billions, so we could look for projects that are in hundreds of millions or in their tens of millions that could run up to billions, and that's 10x or 100x. The second thing I want to pay attention to is the circulating supply. I want to be sure that the project has a circulating supply that is about 80% or 90%. Best case scenario, 100% of the token is in circulation. But if we have about 50% or more, it's like a yellow flag to me, not a green flag. It's like a yellow flag to me, because the more token comes into the market, the more token is unlocked into the market, the more likely the price is going to drop, the price is going to decline. So you want to pay attention to this value. This is a total supply. The total supply tells you the maximum number of that token that can ever be in existence. Like I said, best case is where circulating supply and the total supply are equal. So if this project corrects down to somewhere around below $3, sorry, this if this project corrects to anywhere below, $2, $1.5, for me, that's a very good signal to buy more of this project. So we've looked at two things. We've looked at the volume and we've looked at circulating supply in relation to total supply. So what other data am I looking at? We're also paying attention to the chain too. What chain is hot? What chain is people really talking about currently? What chain is gaining more traction, gaining more attention, bringing in more builders, more developers, shipping in more product, and having more people interested about that chain? Ethereum is cool, but currently, with the current wave of the market, the hottest chains so far are Solana and SU. Those are like the two hottest chains so far. So we also have other chains like Aptos and Ethereum. I add them in the others category. Forgive me if you're an Ethereum maxi, but that's the current state of the market, and I don't get married to past market data. So you want to also pay more attention to the info. Another data set that I look at before I start to verify if I'm going to buy the project or not is that I want to look at what the project is solving. So once we go to the white paper, we click this, it takes us to the white paper. It is more or less a document that gives us an overview of what the project is all about, the problem it's solving, the solution it's providing, and how it plans to generate money. So if you look towards the left here, you can see here revenue generating ecosystem, the protocol, initial agent offering. There are a lot of technical jargons and data here. If you do not understand them, you might want to copy all of this data and put them into your AI, maybe ChatGPT for instance, and ask ChatGPT to explain in very basic, simple terms, a layman can understand. That's definitely if you are not a very technical person, and once you're able to assimilate the data and you're okay with what information you've been able to compress, you might want to make your decision. But on the other hand, you might want to speak with a professional. You might want to reach out to someone who is a consultant. You might want to reach out to us too if you want to, and we could discuss if this project is good for you or bad for your investment. And this is the white paper. In essence, virtual protocol here, as it tells us at the beginning here, our one liner, this is what they are in just one liner: co-ownership of AI agents in the entertainment and gaming industry. So they are making people own the AI agents, and they are helping people in one line. They are helping users and builders own the AI agent ecosystem in relation to entertainment and gaming. Now we know what they are doing, but let's look at their community. How active is the community? So you want to come to Twitter and click on Twitter. Come to Twitter, you see Society of AI Agents base. Imagine millions of loner virtuals join the community. So this is like just about them to an extent. So you want to know more about the project. The first thing you want to do is to give them a follow, right? You give them a follow with your X account. Just suggestions. I don't need them. So you give them a follow with your X account. And if you want to see how active they are, you can see they are very active. This is like their pinned posts. So most project pinned posts usually have a lot of activities. This was posted on the 16th of October 2024. About 2.8k likes, 767 retweets. And you want to come down and start checking, when was like the last time they posted something and what's the community sentiment around it. And you can see January 10, and you can see some people there talking about the project. January 10th, and today is just 13th, right? So it tells you that the community is active. A lot of people are talking about the project. You can go down and check their content. They have over 2,000 contents, and from the look of things, it shows that they are super hyper active. You might also want to check the keyword virtual protocol and see, who are the people shilling it on X, who are the people talking about the project. Okay, so if their followers, is very high, maybe they have like 2 million followers or so, and then you see them put out their post, and their post is having like 4 retweets, 6 retweets, the project is already dead on arrival because people are no longer interested in it, and it looks like it's botted. The followings are botted, and you don't want to be following such kind of project. So you do more research and you know check out their website and try to find out their founders, find out the people who are related to the project. And yeah, if the community is active, the project is going to do well in price. That's one thing to note. But if the community isn't active, who is buying the token? Nobody is buying the token. Nobody is using their solutions. So you want to stay away from such kind of project. And if my data sets are complete, are aligned, that will lead me to the next phase, which is the tokenomics. The tokenomics is the next phase. The tokenomics. Yeah, so I'll come back to virtuals and want to pay attention to the tokenomics. We want to do some calculations here. Now, the tokenomics has to do with you know the circulating supply, the total supply, and how they affect price over time. Now, but before we look into that data, just to add this to what I've said before now, while I'm looking at the volume and the volume is increasing over time, I always want to be sure that when I compare the volume and the market cap, this is $400 million. If I do another $400 million added to this $400 million, that's $800 million, right? If I do $800 million times two, that's $1.6 million. That's like already 4x, almost close to 4x of this, right? And which is almost close to this. So if I add another 400, that would be like 2.2, right? So if I do $400 million times 5, that is 2.2 plus billion dollars. Now, why I'm saying this is because every time you look at a project, you want to be sure that the volume is not less than 5x away from the market cap. It's good the volume is even high. If this is $1 billion, that's good. If this is $800 billion, that's good. If this is 300 billion, if this is $300 million, that's still fine. If this is $900 million, that's still fine for the volume within 24 hours. But if this volume is like $5,000 and the market cap is 2 billion, it doesn't make any sense. I'm not going to buy into that project. If the market cap is $2.2 billion and the volume is $10 million or $1 million, I'm not going to buy into that project because there's no interest in that project. People are not even buying it. It's not even trading so well, and it's not a green flag. It's a red flag looking like a yellow flag. That's what it is for me. It's not a green flag. But if the volume is very very high and the market is ranging, you know, it's it calls for my attention. I'm interested about the project. So let's do some calculations with circulating supply. So with the market cap, we we have the equation that circulating supply the formula is circulating supply times price will give us our market cap. So let's just call this MCAP, market cap. So remember I told us that market cap is the total money invested in a project. Okay. Now we can also duplicate this formula because uh, so in other words, if you want to find the market cap, you said the market cap is equals to circulating supply times price, which is the same. So what if we want to find the price? So the price will be equals to market cap divides by that market cap divided by circulating supply. And what if we want to, find the circulating supply? Let's say we have a project, we know the market cap, we know the price, but we don't know the circulating supply. How do we discover the circulating supply? The same thing. We'll do um, we'll do circulating supply. See that circulating supply is equals to price divided by market cap. Circulating supply is equals to market cap divided by price. Okay. Yep. So once we do that, we're good to go. We now have like the fundamental calculations for pretty great for tokenomics says that 100% of the circulating supply is equal to the total supply. You just want to be sure that all of token is in circulation. But for very new projects, that will not be the case. Okay, that will not be the case. But you can get above 60-70% of the tokens, and that's fine. More formulas, but this gives you like a basic insight, a fundamental insight into the market. Back to virtual protocol. What is the market cap? The market cap is 2.2 billion dollars. And what's the circulating supply? The circulating supply is 1 billion, right? So if we bring this here, 1 billion, and you divide 2.29 billion by 1 billion, you notice the price is 2.29, which is like 2.28 thereabout. Do you understand? So that's the calculation. So you divide the market cap by the circulating supply, it gives you the price. So you can come back to verify that and see that the price is the market cap divided by circulating supply. So you can play around that information with so many other projects you want to look at. And like I said something about the fact that when more tokens comes into circulation, when more token comes into circulation, the price of that asset crashes. So let's say, for instance, this is $2.2 billion market cap, and the circulating supply is 1 billion currently. Remember, we usually divide the market cap by the circulating supply to give us price. So in essence, if circulating supply increase from $1 billion, for instance, and instead of $1 billion, instead of 1 billion tokens, you have 2 billion tokens. If we divide 2.2 billion dollar market cap by 2 billion tokens, you notice that automatically the token price will dump from 2.29 to 1.145 thereabout. That's how the impact of new tokens coming into the market can affect the price of any tokens out there. Okay, so you really want to pay attention to that so that you don't become victim of holding a token and the price only keeps going down, keeps going down, keeps going down. You're not making money and you're always losing money. Every day you check your bag, it keeps going down because unknowingly to you, every single day more tokens is coming into the market, more tokens is coming into the market. And as more token comes into the market and the market cap isn't growing and the community isn't active, the price will keep crashing and crashing and crashing. So be very sure of that. Pay attention to those data, and this is how you can do your math around the tokenomics of various assets. But it doesn't stop there. Let's take it a step further. There are so many tools you can use to track when new tokens are coming into the market to help you position. Now, I talked about the fact that when new tokens comes into the market, the price of the asset crashes, right? That's also an advantage because if you are aware a particular token is going to be unlocked in a specific day, what you are going to do is that you most likely want to wait till those tokens are released into the market, and once they are in the market, you will then come and buy. Or if you are a futures trader, you are aware some tokens are about to be released into the market. Instead of you trying to, um, buy that market, if the unlocked token amount is going to be much, let's say 10%, 20%, 30%, or even more, you can short that particular asset and make more money. But this training and this course is not about futures shorting or longing the market. It's about giving you insight to properly invest in tokens. Now, how do we track when tokens are going to be unlocked? We come to use a specific tool called tokenomist.ai. So when you come to tokenomist.ai, you have an overview. An overview shows you the emission. We call that emission. When new tokens are coming into the market, we call that emission. And 7 days emission, you can see what has happened. It's been going up for most token, and token having the orange symbol here is you know it's called Ondo, right? Ondo has, in relation to every other asset, the Ondo token emission is much. It's about 104 times in relation to every other asset classes today. So like there's like a lot of token unlock with Ondo. Will that tell on the price? Let's check. Okay, so with the price, you can see that the Ondo token has been going down. So, and look at the volume. 24 hours volume is 219k, and the market cap is 1.5 billion dollars. Now, coming to token unlock, looking towards the left part of the screen, you want to come down to, you want to click token unlocks here. When you click on token unlocks, it's going to give you an overview of various asset classes within the crypto ecosystem that has unlocks coming. We have linear unlock and we have cliff unlock. Linear unlocks are very little unlocks that happens into the market, but cliff unlock are very huge unlocks that comes into the market. So cliff unlock could be like 20% release of token into the market. 10% or even more. But linear could be like 1%, less than 1%, less than 2%, thereabout. So when you come here, you check of different projects, and it's going to tell you when new sets of tokens will be unlocked. So for again, in about 1 day, and 6 hours, and same likewise most asset classes here. Arbitrum in 3 days, Prime in 3 days. And if you are in trying to invest in any of these projects, you want to be sure that you are looking at these values or looking at this data, so that you don't just buy a token and the next day there's a cliff unlock of 20% and boom, you just lost so much money the following day because you are unaware of these underlying informations happening behind the scenes. And with that being said, this is the basics and the fundamentals of investing in crypto. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.